All right, so today I am working on the rear suspension. I currently have Eibach 1-inch lift coils, and then on top of that, I've got the 1.5-inch Cornfed spacers. But those together are giving me right at 2.5 inches, which makes sense. That's what it is. I want to lower it down just a little bit. With the body lift, I'm at 25. Hub defender in the rear, and then the front, I'm at the 23.25. So I still have a little bit of rake. If I hold my camera level, you can kind of see it. I like it, but if I can lower the back just a little bit, just to give me a little bit more travel, and a little bit better ride, with it still having just a tiny bit of rake, I think I'll be happier. I think I'm pushing the limits at 2.5 with the Fox rear shocks. So I'm gonna throw these on. I'll kind of walk you through how I do it. I just loosen all the lug nuts, getting ready to jack up the rear. By the pumpkin, I'll throw some jack stands on the frame, and then we'll pick up from there. All right, jacked it up, got it on jack stands, just took off the tire. So what we need to do to get that spacer out is I'm gonna take off the top shock bolt, and I'm gonna take off the sway bar bolt. That's the only bolts I'm taking off to do this. All right, so I got the shock bolt off, sway bar, and I've lowered the jack. It's loose. So the way I like to do this now is I have a little bottle jack, put it in between the axle and whatever type of whatever type of bump stop you have, and then just watch the lines here. They run here. Just make sure it's not on it. But what we're gonna do is we're just gonna jack it up, and you'll see it's pushing everything downward. Loosen here. Not quite, just a little bit more. Make sure the jack's not touching. Nothing's bound up over here. It's getting a little squirrely there, but we're almost out. Yep, so I'm gonna set this down real quick. A little bit of wrestling, and it's out. So to change these top plates, you can see here's the old one. That's the 1.5 inch. Undo this bolt, which secures it to that rubber thing in the middle, and then we'll put it back on. All right, that's off. Put on the new one. One thing important, the Cornfed, once you get, I think it's at 1 inch it starts, they build in a little bit of extra thickness for the driver's side lean. So they're marked on here, driver's side and passenger side. The driver one's the thicker one. Make sure you pay attention to that, and you put the driver's side on the driver's side. Because if you don't, you get to do this again a second time. It comes with new bolts, which is kind of like lag screws, like that. It just goes in there, and that's screwed into the top of that pad. Pretty simple. So we'll get that tightened up, we'll put it back on, and then do the other side. All right, got it all finished up. Just torqued the lug nuts. I measured the back, and it's right at 24.5. So I think it's exactly what I want. It gives me a little bit more travel. I measured at full droop. The hub to flare is right around 27 inches. I'll have to look up exactly what the pro travel is, but it's, I think, somewhere around 7-8 inches. So that puts me right about in the middle of the travel zone, which is where I want to be. And I have plenty of room for up travel. So this is 2 3/4 lift in the front and 2-inch lift in the back, all with a 1/2-inch body lift, giving me a total of 3 1/4 in the front and 2 1/2 in the back. This is where we sit.